Apple unveils iOS 9 with a more proactive Siri and multi-window support. Apple watchOS 2 also gets announced, giving developers more teeth with applications. And Apple Music also makes the scene with a terrible performance by Drake. I'm Jaime Rivera, and yeah, let's face it, this is the WWDC 2015 edition of the Pocketnow Daily. Yes, this is official news day, starting with OS X El Capitan, or El Capitan, as they were saying at the event. Apple has made some minor improvements to the operating system, but these improvements are actually very cool. Starting with Safari tabs, which are now going to be smarter. You can actually pin them to your tabs and have them available to you in a way to make favorites better. But probably the coolest feature is major improvements to mission control, where you can now tile windows side to side, which was terrible in OS X and still is. And the fact that you can actually use mission control in order to be able to move from one application to the other and actually create these tiles on different separate windows. There are a lot of, again, not very major enhancements of OS X, but this update is going to be free, and it's definitely cooler than Yosemite. Another major announcement today was Apple Music. The acquisition of Beats Music just became official, and well, this is an application that pretty much works like Spotify in the fact that it'll charge you $10 and allow you to stream music. But the cool thing here is that, for example, number one, the family package only costs $5 more compared to Spotify, which does cost $5 more but only gives you 2 users, whereas Apple Music gives you 6. That's crazy. But in addition to that, we get dedicated radio stations, we get curated playlists, it seems. We also get the option for artists to connect with listeners, which is really interesting. New artists have a new platform to show off their music as well. A lot of things that we would like to test before we judge. We also get watchOS 2.0 for the Apple Watch, and these updates are major, particularly because you are getting native applications. Now, these applications don't necessarily have to be just the representation of what's on the phone, which is great. That'll mean that the apps will be faster once they get updated. But, for example, this native application support allows third-party developers like the fitness area to use HealthKit in addition to your heart rate sensor, in addition to a lot of things. There is Siri integration. There are a lot of really cool things coming to watchOS 2. One of them being, for example, the fact that you can now get third-party options for watch faces, not necessarily to get more watch faces, but for them to tinker the watch face and give you more options to select. So yeah, a lot of things that we will be testing in a video very soon. And we did get some minor updates that are pretty major, like, for example, new transit services for Apple Maps, where Apple Maps will be smart enough to detect how long it'll take you to commute to a train, and then if you will arrive to the train on time. In addition, we also get enhancements to Apple Pay. It now goes international, and yeah, we also get Apple Wallet now, because that's the way Passbook is going to be named going forward. Again, minor updates that were really substantial, particularly in Apple Maps. And finally, for the very hot news of the day, the biggest update was iOS 9. We thought it was going to be conservative, but no, it's not. Particularly with Siri. Now it gets a lot smarter than it was. You can tell Siri to show you the photos of your recent trip to Utah, and it'll give you a filter of just those photos, which is awesome. But yeah, it gets a little more like Google now, but better. You can slide to the left, you get your frequent contacts, you get the information of the place that you're in right there, and you also get other data that you can add, and obviously developers will be able to tinker with this because there is now a search API for this. But yeah, Siri gets a lot smarter, but that's not it. We get multi-window support on the iPad, and in a very cool way, except for the fact that it only works on the iPad Air 2, at least the bigger part of the snapping tool where you can tile windows from side to side. But there are other options like sliding your notes from one side and stuff like that. Again, other things that are really cool, but that is not it. We get a new Notes application, a new News application from Apple, and the list is just so vast that I would rather you read it in the links in the description, but it does lead me to the question of the day. What do you think about iOS 9? Would it make you particularly buy an iPad now that you get multi-window support? In my case, yes. You'll probably say that Samsung Galaxy tablets can do this, but no. This is a native thing, meaning all applications that support a special layout thing are able to work like this. So leave us a comment down below. What is your case? Friends, you know the drill. If you want to get the news earlier before this video is filmed, make sure you follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You can follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.